my God. Liesel? No, that's not your twin flame. Liesel, get out of the rain. That's not your twin flame. That's a Nazi. With a whistle. Oh my God. Listen up. Listen up. Somebody about to realize their twin flame catalyst. No, that's not their twin flame. No, that's a fucking narcissist. Poor Liesel. No, that's not your twin flame, darling. That's a Nazi. Capricorn. Virgo. Taurus. Scorpio. Take note. Take note. Somebody may have realized their twin flame catalyst, yeah, is pure evil. Look at this. Okay. This is your gnarly puzzle, but I will figure it out. Yeah. Look at this. Hi. What's up? This card is guides working on things from above. Ooh, look what's on the top. We have actual twin flames coming together. We may have Poseidon's proposal. Somebody may be in Neptunian energy. It all might be very magical and mystical and confusing and smitten kitten. This is a connection unlike any other connection. This is a divine connection that is feels totally different than your average connection. Okay, let's hear more. Somebody had to get their twin flame catalyst person out of their life. So we got to remember, a twin flame catalyst is somebody who is so careless with your feelings that they send you on a spiritual awakening. It's narcissist abuse. And a lot of times you trauma bond with those kind of people, and then they use the fuck out of you until they're done using you, and then they discard you. And it is so horrid that it sends you into a very brutal spiritual awakening. So Spirit wants you to learn about, you may have had a spiritual awakening due to narcissist abuse. So when we think of twin flames in this crazy energetic connection that you may have to somebody, you have to remember that if you had a spiritual awakening due to a narcissist, that person is not doing self-working work. They're not going to heal. The narcissist does not have the ability to self-reflect. We have a lot of people who are very narcissistic. They've picked up fleas and bad behavior. Those kind of people may be doing their own spiritual work. And if everybody heals, you may come together and have an opportunity to do an adventure together, something like that. That's what people are hoping their twin flame is doing while you're in separation. But that can be toxic hope, because that person could be a narcissist. And Spirit is saying you had a spiritual awakening due to narcissist abuse. So we're not going to wait. A squirrel might mean something. A squirrel just caught my eye. We're never going to wait at a crossroads for somebody to decide if they want to be with us or not. Unrequited love is bullshit. If somebody is singing that song, torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool, loving you both is breaking all the rules. Yeah. That's called triangulation. Yeah, so if somebody decides to say they're torn between two lovers with you, you know what you say? You say, I'll solve this problem right now. Yeah, go choose the other person. I'm not an option. I'm an empress or an emperor. Go choose the other person. And then you go and find somebody who is not torn between two lovers. If you're wasting all your time on your twin flame catalyst, putting all that energy into that person who may be just giving you breadcrumbs, or only coming around when they need something from you, and then dip out again, where it's clear it's all still all about them all the time, you're not saving space for the right person. You're energetically connecting to something that will always be a zonk. You had a spiritual awakening due to narcissist abuse. And your real twin flame is over in Healdville. That's somebody else who also had a spiritual awakening due to narcissist abuse. They've done the work and they've healed. And they're over in Healdville. So memento mori. Remember death. We are all gonna die. How do you want to spend the rest of your life? If you've had a spiritual awakening and your catalyst person doesn't seem like they have, or people around you, yeah, you're on two absolutely different vibrations. So there's this really great video that this galactic professor does. Two videos. One where they talk about unrequited love being bullshit, and another video where it is why does narcissist abuse so often lead to spiritual awakening? And if you haven't had a spiritual awakening, you can't comprehend what a spiritual awakening is. It's an actual event that happens to you. You become a changed person. This isn't just like, I've decided to get hippy dippy, I'm getting all foo-foo and all this stuff. No, it's you have gone through a very, very soul-wrenching thing called the dark night of the soul. And spirit has taken over. It's spiritual depression. It's the worst kind of depression. It's where a lot of people end up not living themselves anymore. In the darkest part of it. And that's when the grace of spirit, God, source, your ancestors, the force, aliens, whatever you call it, all of the above, literally takes over and says, darling, you are too precious to be treated this awfully. We are going to heal your wounds. And you are going to become a totally new person after this is done. Your mind is going to start expanding. And you are going to live a completely different existence than what you used to live. And there are going to be people in your life that cannot comprehend it. But this does happen. This is an event that happens to people. It's such a profound event that there's millions of books written about it. So if you've never had a spiritual awakening, and you aren't really kind of sure what I'm talking about, just know this is a very traumatic event that happens to somebody. And you end up having to face all of your demons in your psyche. It happens in your psyche. And your core childhood wounds come up. And you have to face them. And these kind of wounds are often, they're trauma. And they're often so hideous that when it happened to you, Spirit put a veil over you. You were too little to even comprehend the amount of trauma you were feeling. And now at this age, your mind starts expanding. It starts lifting up the veil. And that trauma is still there. And the reason Spirit does that is because that trauma is bad energy. So look at all this bad energy. So think of yourself, your body, as a Kool-Aid pitcher. You got the Kool-Aid powder in there, and water filled all the way to the very top of the pitcher. There's no more room in there for sugar. So your Kool-Aid tastes totally nasty because at the very bottom of the pitcher are these issues, this devil energy. And it's actual energy that we push down somewhere in our belly. And Spirit says, darling, your Kool-Aid is too nasty. It's time to get rid of that devil energy so there's room in the pitcher for the sugar. And so you have to face all these issues. And then when you do, it's like a cut and then a salve. You face the issue. It's horrid. You birth, I call them bog bodies. You birth this like bog body thing, which includes sobbing, crying, just freaking the fuck out, whatever the fuck it is. And then all of a sudden you feel lighter and better. Spirit immediately puts the sugar in. And then you ascend up, you change vibrations. And then another, the spiritual awakening, you have to birth several of these bog bodies. Spiritual awakening is not puffy unicorns, clouds. No, it's visceral, it's snotty, it's crying. It's being more alone than you've ever been. It's feeling very, very big and then very, very small and then very, very big. You're getting pulled from the 3D into the 4D. You start seeing synchronicities. All your projections, all your false realities, all your indoctrinations that you have just been living under collapse. These false realities, and you are forced to see the truth. And it can be very traumatic. So some people some people are on an awakening and they don't even know that what's happening to them. What's up, boo-boo? It was interesting. My dog did that whine right then. So that's part of my mission, is to help explain what the spiritual awakening is, what the dark night of the soul is, how to get through it, to remind people this is only a super ball slam. Spirit takes you and like whips you like a super ball as hard as it can to shake off all that negative energy, to birth those bog bodies. And I'm hoping my work with the art movement here will help people in the darkest part of their dark night to understand this isn't how your life is now. This is just the hardest slam of the super ball. And you are about to bounce up, and you're going to bounce so high up, you're going to be a completely different person. And you will find that person is the real you. That all this trauma that you had in your past prevented you from being the real you. And you are a very lucky recipient of the grace of God. spirit, source, ancestors, aliens, the force, whatever you want to call it, I call it all of the above, has come in and have had you experience this experience so you could truly shine in your authentic self. So if you're in this dark spiritual depression, just know this is just temporary. And there's all sorts of videos that Spirit wants you to watch. There's this great video of this dude named Victor who explains 11 signs of the Kundalini awakening. Like you're in awakening. You don't even know it. You're having an awakening. Yeah, before my awakening, I thought all of this was hippie granola shit. Now look at me. I knew nothing about spirituality concepts. I had to stumble through this all by myself, and I vowed never to make anybody else have to do it all by themselves. I don't participate in the idea that I suffered for X amount of time, therefore you need to suffer for X amount of time. No, I am the person standing there with a bucket of water after Spirit spits you out of the flaming mess of the dark night of the soul, throwing water on you and saying you're still alive. Here's what happened. I want whatever I went through and the things I've learned and the information that helped me the most be given to people the fastest so they can get through this very difficult part of the awakening as easy as possible. Because when you feel better, you feel really better. And that's where I hope people can get. So Spirit wants you to watch those 11 signs of a Kundalini awakening. I'm going to put some links about the dark night of the soul and what that is. And just know you're about to feel a whole lot better. Okay? But you got to remember, get out of the freaking greenhouse in the rain. No, that's not your twin flame. That's a Nazi with a whistle. What a fucking dick. Oh my God. Let's hear from the archangels. A whole bunch of people are coming over to Healdville. Pop on your own. We have crystal clear intentions and moon cycles. This last moon cycle may have changed everything. Archangel Haniel. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. Crystal clear intentions. Archangel Michael. Be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. All right. So take note. Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Welcome to Healdville, darlings.